Guide for building wealth. Let me see if I got this set up correctly. Just bear with me for a second. All right. Hopefully this is not backwards. But today I just want to talk about what's killing your savings account. And I have taxes, cost of living, fear of losing. These are things that we pay on a daily, or the first two we pay on a daily basis, and we don't even notice that it's eating our savings away. A lot of people think that they need to be saving money in order to build wealth. Well, that's the wrong approach when it comes to building wealth. You can't build wealth by saving money in a high interest savings account. You know why? Because they're barely paying you anything. Banks will offer you maybe 5% max, but that's only for a promotional period of time, maybe anywhere from like 3 to 6 months. A regular high interest savings account, you'll probably get 3% if you're lucky. The cost of living between taxes, well, let me stick with taxes first. Did you know that you pay taxes on the income you make, the money that you spend, the money, anything that you do with money, and you have to exchange it for something else, you're paying taxes on it. Did you know when you die you pay taxes? There's a death tax. When you transfer money to, say, your children, if you have, you pay taxes on it. You pay property tax. You pay sales tax. You pay the taxes for your, what's it called, payroll tax. There's so many different taxes. The government is just eating away at our money. So anytime you get money, you never get the full amount. You always got to pay some form of taxes. Then you got the cost of living. Cost of living after COVID, if you were working, you knew what it felt like to go from maybe paying $200 for groceries to like $400 for groceries. The cost of living has gone up drastically. In America, eggs used to be like $3, then it jumped up to $20. That's insane. Can you believe that? $20 for eggs? There's no way in hell I would be paying that much. I would just say, you know what, screw eggs. I'll just eat my vegetables. I'll go garden and then I'm good. But the cost of living has gone up. They said during the pandemic, cost of living went up maybe about 9%. Don't quote me. Now, if the cost of living has gone up 9%, but your savings account has only gone up 3%, that means the difference between the two is 6%. So that means you're actually losing money at 6% annually, meaning every $100 that you have is now worth less. It's worth less by $6. So you went from having $100 in your savings account to now it's being worth $94 because of the cost of living. You can't purchase something that you purchased before for the same price. So between those first two, they're literally eating away at your savings. So having your money just sit there not doing anything for you, it's pretty much dead money. You have to get your money working for you. Which brings us to point number 3, fear of losing. Many people fear losing their money. And for obvious reasons, it's like, oh, if I put into this, what if I lose it and that? You need to change your mindset about how you think about money or how you think about investing. One, if you do your research and take a calculated risk, then it's not you just throwing away money. If you have the proper things set up for you, then thank you for the comments. Yeah, I know, that's fine, but they can watch it later. But going back to what I was saying, the fear of losing. If you always fear losing, guess what? You're never going to make any money. Your money's just going to be dead in the water. So you got to go out there and put it into either the market, real estate, or invest it in yourself, into a skill or into a business. If you don't do any of those things, having your money sitting in a savings account is dead in the water. You can't fear losing money. Yes, there are going to be times where you lose money, but you got to learn. You have to learn from it. If you don't learn from it, then yes, it's an L. But learn from those mistakes. Mistakes that I've made: stock market, blindly investing, not doing my research on these companies, listening to other people. These are the reasons why I lost money in the stock market. But the moment I started doing research, taking a calculated risk, only investing money that I could afford to lose, but I wasn't looking to lose it, but I didn't have to use it for something else per se, put that into the market, it made me money. Also, you can't be looking at investing like gambling. If you want to gamble, go to the casino. Investing, let's just talk about the stock market here. Investing in the stock market is something long term. You have to put that money in and let it see it for the near future. A quote that I heard, or what I heard Warren Buffett say, is when he invests money that's going to be in that company forever. He doesn't look for a 5-year or 10-year return. If you look at the man's portfolio, he's had Coca-Cola since he was like in his 20s, I think, or in his teens. The man's 80 years old now. You know how much that's worth? I don't even know how much it's worth, but go check it out. However, he makes 6 figures quarterly from Coca-Cola alone. A boring company that just makes pop. And it's because he invested over the long term. Imagine what your money could do if you invested over the long term. So let's go back to the high interest savings account. The high interest savings account makes, let's say, 3% on a good day, or on a good year, 3% annually, okay? But now if you put that money into the stock market, guess how much you could potentially make? Anywhere from about 9 to 10% on average. If you go check if you go and check the history of the stock market, annually it gives about 9 to 10%. So now that 9 to 10%, do you see that difference there? Let's go with 9. Right there, I'm making a 6% increase than having it in a high interest savings account. That ain't doing nothing for me. So you want to think of ways that you can grow your money, whether it's a business, in yourself to learn a skill, real estate, or the stock market. I like to invest into myself because 1, it's a skill that nobody can ever take from you. 2, the amount of money is endless. It doesn't even, there's no number that you can put on that when you learn a skill. So that's one thing that I would strongly recommend for you guys to do. There's also a bonus one. If you have kids, start investing in them today. Why? Because they're the future. If you have a 5-6-year-old, that's the best time to start because they're like sponges and you can develop them into being the next world leader, whatever it is that you want them to be, right? Or whatever they want to be with your guidance. But you got to start investing into them. Invest in yourself because that's the best return on investment. You can't go wrong with investing in yourself. The stock market, you're choosing companies, but if you choose solid companies, you're bound to make a good return. Real estate is long-term investment. One strategy that I learned late in my life, you don't buy and resell, you buy and hold. You take the money, the equity out, and buy another property. That's the real game. That's the real way of playing the game. And then a business. You want to think of a business that solves a problem for a lot of people or rich people. If you can do one of those two, and also think years ahead, what's my exit strategy for this business? You want to think long term. Anything that you do, try to think at least 10 years out. The further out you think, the bigger the return on your investment will be. My name is Dean the Wealth Coach, your go-to guy for building wealth. If you're looking to build wealth and want accountability group, I have a group of 30 members strong in the Wealth Builders Academy. You can click the link down below to join. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on my next video.